Hey everybody, it's Josie. Welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm going to make this video on, I'm going to unbox a shipment that I got from Stark Brothers, and I paid for all this myself. It's not a sponsored thing, but I wanted to kind of show you some things that I got and talk to you a little bit about gardening. And then I'm going to go ahead and upload this video so it'll come out earlier today. Normally on Tuesdays I have a video at 7 o'clock at night, but we are supposed to be getting severe weather here in just a few hours for tonight and tomorrow. And some of you might be under the same weather conditions that we're in, and so I want to get this up to you because I don't know if we'll have electric. It could be, and I'm hoping that the storms blow right over, but they're talking about if the storms get fired up this afternoon because it's warm and the wind's blowing, and we also have pretty high fire conditions. I don't know why anybody would be burning anything today. It's windy, but you never know. I already have the box open so that you guys didn't have to watch a boring part of me trying to get a box open, and I'll take these things out and just show you what I've got to add to our stuff this year. Now, I ordered a big supply from Stark last year, and those things are planted. The blackberries are doing pretty good. Some of the other things I had a little bit of trouble with, but and it's not Stark's. It wasn't Stark's fault. They have always been good, sent us good product. And now I'll hush the mumbling and show you the things that we got. The first thing that I ordered was a honeyberry. Now they're a little bit like a blueberry, but they're a bush, a bigger bush, and they're long-lived. And you have to have, or at least the one that I picked, which is a blue diamond, they have to have a pollinator. And I've ordered a pollinator, but it wasn't ready yet, and they're going to send it to me in June. And I'm going to plant these in an area that we'll talk about in just a little bit. So the next package that I got, and you can see how these come packaged really well. The roots are in here, and they've got moist paper, shredded paper around them so that the roots are staying good and moist. And this particular bundle is raspberries, and I got Latham raspberries. I got 6 of those, and I got 6 Latham and 6 Heritage raspberries, and we'll get these planted out. And one good thing about raspberries is they are really prolific once they get started to send out new runners, and you can either dig those up and put them back in with all of the other raspberries, or you can share them with friends, or you can start another row. So I'm looking really forward to raspberries. When Howie and I got married, the very first house that we lived in, the elderly people went to church with us, and he passed away, and she moved back to Michigan to be with her family, and they had a big raspberry patch. They actually had a fruit stand there at their home, and they sold tomatoes and all kinds of different vegetables, and they sold raspberries, and she had a huge raspberry patch, and we loved it. And so I'm gonna I've tried raspberries before, and we're gonna try raspberries here this year, and we're going to have some dedicated space to this. So this is 12 plants, 6 of Latham and 6 of Heritage. Now these are blackberries, and I ordered Stark Brothers was having a sale on these, and these are the Southern Blackberry Plant Collection, and so I ordered 2 of those, and then I ordered another type of blackberry, and they're all thornless blackberries. And like I said, they had them on sale, so I ended up getting 24 blackberries. Now I already have blackberries up in my garden, but I wanted to plant some more. We're looking at ways to diversify the farm, and so we're hoping that in the future that we might be able to have a means of maybe you pick. And I know I'm a long ways from that, but you got to get started somewhere. And so I've got 3 more of these packages in the box, and I'm just going to show you this one because I don't want to bore you to death. but they look really good. They look really healthy. It's really moist. They package it really well. And so if you're interested in blackberries, you may go over to Stark Brothers and see what they have to offer for those, and raspberries as well. And then I also, dirty all over. Okay, and the last thing that I got from Stark Brothers was strawberry plugs, and I got 75. I have a few spots in my strawberry bed that I already have that needs to be replaced, and so some of these will go there. And then I'm going to have another dedicated strawberry bed. We love strawberries here, and so we'll get these planted and have strawberries. So we're trying to get all of this stuff going that comes back year after year after year. And if you're interested in doing something like that, planting perennials, planting berry bushes and things that are going to provide for your family, you might look into Stark Brothers or some of the other places that you trust to get your items. And I can't really remember if I told you that I have another honeyberry coming in June or not. But if I didn't tell you, I've got one. And if I told you, just chalk it up to the old gray mare ain't what she used to be, and I forget what I tell you. And I might have already told you that. So don't pay any attention to me some. Okay, every time that you order from Stark, they always send you a little pamphlet, and it tells you the thing. It gives you instructions on how to find out the planting instructions, the growing instructions, and it tells you the different things that they offer. If you're interested, they offer bare root trees, potted trees. They offer bare root berries and plants, and that's what I ordered, the raspberries and the strawberries. And you can get potted berries and plants that will actually come to you already ready to be potted into a container and ready to go for you. I haven't ever had any trouble with my orders from Stark, so you might want to just jump over there. They've got all kinds of stuff. They've got grapes and figs and pawpaws and all kinds of fruit trees, and just really an interesting and fun place to get some of your supplies. The other thing I wanted to talk about was that I've had several subscribers that are really concerned that they can't grow things where they live. And I understand that. I have one of my brothers is in an HOA in the neighborhood that he belongs to, and they are really, really strict on a lot of the stuff that they'll allow them to do. But with a little bit of ingenuity, you can grow things and get around. Not that we're trying to get you to do deceptive stuff, but a lot of them don't want you to dig up your yard to put an actual garden in. But if you've got flower beds or you have hanging pots and containers, there's lots of things that you can do. There's lots of plants, edible plants, and herbs and things like vegetables that you can put in containers and pots and flower beds, and it still look nice, still stay within your the rules that your neighborhood sets up. And you'd be surprised really what kind of things that you can actually grow. Now the honeyberry, I told you that I was going to explain what I'm going to do with those. And in my front yard, between the end of my property and the dirt road, I have a big flower bed all the way across that Howie built for me. And it's got several bushes. It's got butterfly bush, and it's got different rows of Sharons, and it's got lilacs. But then I have some spaces that I have that I'm going to be able to put more items. And I love flowering bushes and lilacs and hibiscus. Rose of Sharon. Hibiscus and Rose of Sharon are my very favorites. But there's also areas, spaces that I'm going to put those honeyberries right up there with the rest of them. And I've got some Nanking cherries, and that's a bush cherry instead of a tree. Not to say that I won't at some time try to plant a cherry tree. I need to research it more to see what would be the best for here in Oklahoma. And then I have some elderberry bushes in my backyard, and they put up little fresh new starts every year. And if I can beat Blade back there, if I can beat him and his weed eater back there, I'm going to get those, and I'm going to put some elderberries up there too. So we'll have like a living hedge, and some of it will be items that we'll be able to take berries and different things off of. Along with that, I have all kinds of space underneath those bushes to plant. I can plant medicinal plants. I could plant chamomile, and I can plant anything that could be used. Pardon me, lavender, and all of those things look really nice, but they're also beneficial and wouldn't upset any of your neighbors because they are flowering and they're beautiful and they last all summer. And people would never guess that it's something that you're going to be taking and putting to good use, whether you're eating it or you're making medicinals out of it, or if it's herbs. You'll be surprised. Basil makes a beautiful, beautiful plant. If you let it, I have a basil plant that comes back every year, and it gets really big. And if I let it go to seed, I let it go to flower, it has the prettiest purple flowers on it. And I guarantee you that would be another one that people would be surprised that is actually something that's beneficial and not just a flower. In my front yard, right when you come up the steps up onto my porch, I have 2 mineral tubs, and they're dark green mineral tubs. And I plant in those every year sweet potato vines. And they make a beautiful planting. They just go and go and go. They're beautiful. Again, that is something that you can plant there that's edible. Now, some of mine are ornamentals, but you could plant edibles there. And after you harvest the sweet potatoes, you could put something else there in its place and grow the rest of the season. Don't forget your hanging containers, your hanging pots. I've got a bunch throughout the years. I've had flowers that I've gotten for Mother's Day or my birthday or different times of the year from Blade and Howie and different ones. And I always keep those. And you can clean them up and change the dirt out, and you'd be surprised. I ordered a packet of tomato seeds from Totally Tomatoes, and it is a plant that's going to be able to grow in that container, and it spills over the sides, and it's a little cherry tomato. You could grow cherry tomatoes. You could grow little cucumbers. You could grow so many things in hanging baskets. I will tell you that you have to water it more than what you water your in-ground gardens because those containers dry out faster. But there's all kinds of possibilities for you. Even if your neighbors don't want a garden, you can have those hanging pots and grow those items, and they're really pretty. They're attractive, and you're growing items. You could step out of your back door and pick some lettuce and pick some tomatoes, pick some cucumbers, and have a salad. You could get some herbs from your basil or whatever other thing that you're growing. And all over in different places in the garden, we're not growing a garden. All over in different spots of your flower beds, you could grow just little patches of things. And you might have to go through your yard picking and harvesting, but that's part of the fun of growing things to eat and to have for your family is foraging those things. So you could stick some chives in a spot. You could stick onions and tomatoes and all kinds of things make very attractive plants. You could try growing roselle. It makes a big bush, but in my area of Oklahoma, it's not perennial. It gets too cold in the wintertime. And But it makes a beautiful bush that you could grow from year to year. You could grow anything that looks ornamental but also has benefits of being a food. You just have to be creative with where you're putting things. You need to think about how little the root systems are or how big the root systems are. You don't want to put a tomato or something that has a fairly good sized root system in a small little container. You want to find something bigger that you could put it in. You might even try a little kiddie swimming pool and have some fun that way, growing some things that people wouldn't have a problem with. Now, it's true that I do live on a farm, and I have a lot of space to grow items. I've got a big garden, and I have all kinds of place. If I want to put in a raised bed, I can just put in a raised bed. And I understand that some of you are in an area that you just simply can't do that. But with a little bit of creativity and a little bit of thought about these plants, whether they're vegetables or they're fruits, they're medicinals, perhaps it's culinary herbs, all those kind of things. With just a little bit of imagination, you'll be able to put those things to good use, grow them without upsetting your neighbors. Now, I'm sure that y'all have been out and about at different places and you've seen the creativity that people have on their containers. There's people are using all kinds of stuff to plant in. They're using old pots and all kinds of stuff. And all it takes is just a little bit of an imagination and a little bit of creativity. So this summer, I get all this stuff planted that I showed you today. I'm going to be planting some stuff in, of course, I have all those mineral tubs. And I know some of you are saying, I don't have all those. But I'm also going to be hanging, I'm not going to hang anybody. I'm also going to be planting those tomatoes and other things all throughout my flower beds in different areas just to show you how you can find places to plant your vegetables and your fruits and your herbs and medicinals and all that kind of stuff. Well, guys, I hope I've inspired you to go out in your yard and look around and see if you've got any spaces that you could sneak a little plant in here and there. Especially if you live in an area that won't let you grow a garden or make raised beds. There's all kinds of places that you can find to stick a little berry bush or a strawberry or even a green pea. Well, I'm going to run for now because we've got those bad storms coming in, and I've got to make sure that all the animals are taken care of and that we don't have anything that could blow around and cause any kind of damage if we get those bad storms. Y'all pray for us, and we'll be praying that we all stay safe. You guys too. And until next time, guys, this is Josie. Look well to the ways of your household. Be creative and imaginative and find some places to grow those plants. And until next time, we're gone.